Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, the red color challenge continues with Torbran, the Thane of Redfell in Brawl action. So, we're going to be diving into that Wednesday only Brawl queue. Boo. Hate Wednesday only Brawl. Yay, Brawl! Wednesday only Brawl. Wizards. Don't make me rant. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. All right. But in the meantime, we're playing this red deck that is just, well, it's like you took the Cavalcade of Calamity deck and you mashed it together with the other red deck, the Burn deck, and you just throw them at the opponent. Red has enough strong cards that going face is not a problem. This deck is absolutely just, it's quick. As long as you take your free mulligan and try to hit a good curve, it is solid, and it has a lot of very strong cards sprinkled throughout that are pretty fun actually for red, such as Krenko, the Tin Street Kingpin, and Chandra, Fire Artisan, a couple of cards that I just really enjoy playing. The curve is very, very aggressive. You can see just loads of 1-drops and 2-drops, so don't keep hands without them. And we, of course, have a Skargan Hellkite on top for good measure. Always having Torbran on 4 is just, it's really good. It is absurd how good it is, but smart opponents will leave up their removal spells to stop you from having a good Torbran, so be mindful of it. Let's dive right into the Wednesday Brawl and let the nonsense begin. Brawl! It's Wednesday. It's Brawl Day. Into the battle. To war. We will burn the enemies. They will be consumed in the fires of rage and fireness and hot and burn. And Bernie metaphor hotness. Roasting. Pyres of embers of smoke. Alright. This hand is okay. 2 lands on the draw. We should find another. 3 removal spells. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. Robber of the Rich won't be doing much. Moo. Moo is on tap. So good old blue versus red. Classic battle. Are you a Petitioner fan? No, you are not. You are something else entirely. Moo pluses to go up to 4. You know what's 4? Heartfire. Well, they're not going to make me discard anything. We can slow roll the castle. Let's start robbing this rich. Island, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Get that island exiled to Robber of the Rich. So when Robber of the Rich actually exiles a card that is in a land, we can cast it on the turn when we attacked with a rogue. If you've watched my good old Outlaws Merriment Robber of the Rich deck, you know that never happens. It's a fallacy. Maybe here in Brawl. Maybe here today, my friends, we will cast something we steal with Robber of the Rich. Counterspell, huh? Well, I guess we play around Quench by hitting the land drop. We fire up the Tin Street Dodger. Would you like to counter that? It's not the most impressive card you'll ever see. Full control. Let's go to next. All right, no effect. So we'll go ahead and pump the Banneret here before we declare the attackers to make sure we get the Mentor trigger. Who wants it? The opponent's going to want to deal with this anyway, so I'm going to pump the Tin Street Dodger since size doesn't look like it matters much against this blue deck. Yeah, another island. Sweet. Helping, you know, I'm just over here being a bro, making my opponent's draws better. Wait, where are you going? You don't like that I played around a counterspell? Cowardly blue mage. Giving blue a bad name. Blue requires bravery and discipline and intelligence. Prime Speaker Xanifer. Aw, yeah. And this hand is fine. All hands are fine. This light up the stage just keeps showing up. Vervichamp. Hit him. Smash him. Dash him to bits. All right. Ginger. I mean, do I light up the stage here? Not yet, right? I'm better off going for damage than hoping to hit another 1-drop. And what we really want here are lands for the next 2 turns, preferably. But we're probably not going to reveal 2 lands. We'll probably reveal 1. Shut up. Shut up, Dan. CGB, you do it wrong. You play bad magic. All right. Okay, the Grazer is happening, but we drew the extra land anyway. We're freaking king over here. Let's go ahead and remove you from the equation. And smash. This Ginger Brute and this Torbran, it tilts me, even though I know Ginger Brute has helped me in plenty of situations. It tilts me. All right, well, I've got the Lava Coil. Do we do that? Or do we Torbran and get in there? It feels like letting the opponent have this is just too risky. And they're gonna be like, not the one Lava Coil, that's garbage, dude. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I got lucky. I'm a lucky duck. What else you got? Anything I can fee-fi-fo-fum? Kiora. Shiny. What else you got? Crashing Drawbridge? Alright, well, I guess I'll deal 2 damage. Where will it go? Or, you know, if I can't kill this turn, I'm just gonna Torbran. If I can't kill this turn, and then I can use this with the Torbran and deal more damage. Actually does fit curve too. If I draw land. So the opponent can block this, meaning they take 1. Do I need this Kiora to die? It seems like trouble. And it is ramp. Smart opponent puts Drawbridge on champion. Yep. Now, if there's a land, the opponent can untap it, replay Prime Speaker, but Chandra's Triumph can kill it. Bone Crusher Giant can kill the Drawbridge. Things probably start to spiral from there. Let's see what happens. Strong. Strong card.
Nature flows with vigor.
But won't help my opponent much here, I don't think. Gilded Goose. Annoying card. Honk honk. Alright, first things first. That questing beast gotta go. Gotta go. Then we're going to try to get my opponent to defend. I think that's what we do. We can also take out the Drawbridge. Then when we attack with these, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. The Goose could block the Ginger Brute though. So we would attack here, 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 and get the opponent to basically throw away their Goose. It's an option. I hate shooting the Drawbridge. It just doesn't do much on its own. Alright, well I have a burn spell for the Kiora. Let's see how the opponent wants to try to defend Kiora. The Drawbridge just blocks the champion all day though. It's so bad. So they'll have to throw something away in front of the Torbran. And then other than that, we can just attack here. The opponent might just block, lose Kiora. In which case we have a Chandra's Triumph ready for the return of Prime Speaker Xanafer or the next serious threat. But then we're ahead on board enough. We don't need to panic. We don't need to throw the Triumph at something unimportant. And the opponent might just be satisfied as long as they're not taking damage here. Does this say enters the battlefield? It does. So we can hold this. And yeah, it looks like they're letting Kiora go. I know we didn't get any face damage. Feels bad, man. But we are ahead. That's the important thing. We are ahead. We want to use the Triumph to make sure that we stay ahead. We don't want to use it to pull a little bit further ahead, only to fall way behind to the Prime Speaker. So here it is. Triumph with the Torbran bonus takes Prime Speaker back to exile mode. And then we have a hasty threat either way, which should really be able to crank up the damage. So the opponent goes for activating the drawbridge. In response, you're out of there. And now they can't block with the drawbridge. So that turned out well. And here, it feels like it's drop the War Boss, drop the red cap. Bone Crusher, not as good. And let's get the damage flowing. Yep. That Ginger Brute, man. Down to 8. Here's the red cap. Our opponent needs a big turn. Let's see what they can do. They can scoop it up. All right. So this game, we had the right removal spells in the right places. Obviously, having a Lava Coil was good, but I think one of the key plays was not cracking the Bone Crusher Giant on turn. It was either 3 or 4, waiting till we played Torbran instead so that it could deal 4 damage and remove a Prime Speaker. So, yeah, a little bit of patience there, I think, paid off a lot in that game. Bolas. We face Bolas. All right, we'll give it a try. Maybe we can rob something particularly juicy, although being on the draw is going to make that hard. Oh, hit a 1-drop. Never punished. That's a disfigure. You can smell it. There isn't much here to play around to disfigure, that's for sure. I guess I could just slam the Rimlock Knight as a 3-1. Rimrock. Oh, always a turn 2 thought erasure. Even in Brawl. Yeah, sweet. All right. Settle in. Our opponent also doing their mana base right. They've got 2 black sources with Nicol Bolas on the way, as opposed to the people who have like an island and a mountain. Apparently this is a big decision. Either way I have a 2-drop, either way I have a 3-drop. So for the first time ever, Thought Erasure doesn't obliterate my curve. And they kept on top, so they're feeling foxy. Just go ahead and play a 3-1. They might have that Disfigure, but you know they want to save it for the Krenko. Best land in the game? You know it. You know it. Okay. We're definitely going to be overthinking things in this one. Yeah, I'll sacrifice this Grim Initiate here. It makes me a 1-1. Seems good. I still think the opponent is holding up Disfigure. They've had that or they're using full control in Brawl, which is a whole other level. I mean, I think I'm tryhard. This is tryhard. Alright, so if they're doing that, they probably have an answer to the Krenko. But I'm going to try anyway. The Chandra Spitfire doesn't do anything with the hand I've currently got, other than get a few extra pips on the Bone Crusher Giant. Yeah, let's just dial the pressure all the way up with the Torbran. If they counter it or remove it, we still get the Krenko. Oh, okay. That's a card you can have. It's not that bad for me. Yeah, but it's worse than a removal spell because it let the Krenko activate, and now Torbran's on the field. So here comes Bolas, probably kills Torbran. But that means we get to shoot down the Bolas and go from here, and Bolas just yelling at the top of his freaking lungs. All right, let's have our Spitfire. Let's also have our Banneret to possibly pump the Spitfire and use our mana next turn. Let's obliterate your Bolas, and let's get face. My opponent's deck is probably much more suited to play Bolas over and over by drawing cards and having cards like that Surveil and just hitting land drops, whereas mine This might be a while before we play another Torbran, but let's see. Ooh. Alright, let's activate the Goblin Banneret and try to get some mentoring done. Where to? If we put on the Spitfire, that's probably something the opponent wants to kill anyway and will kill anyway. So I'm going to pump another one of my Goblin tokens. The only way that's punished is by a sweeper. And the opponent looking around. They've chosen to kill the Banneret after that. That's kind of a mistake, right? Okay, let's use the Bone Crusher Giant to get some extra damage on the opponent's face with the Chandra Spitfire. Try to push my opponent out of the game. If they have a land, they can bolas again, kill the Spitfire, probably. Don't think plussing the bolas here is really very good for them. Yep. 7 mana murder. No! Yeah, let's try to get all the damage in. You go over here and take this away. Take it away! And Smash Face opens up, light up the stage. Alright, we hit the castle. We can play the Steamkin or we could play Bone Crusher, but either way, Torbran can come out next turn. Steamkin goes away next turn, which takes away my option to play Torbran, but Bone Crusher attacks for more. I'll go with the Steamkin, though. Might be a mistake if the opponent hits Cry of the Cranarium. But that's, I think, that and Flame Sweep are the two things that punish me. Punished. Actually punished. Wow. Rude. Very rude. That has to be off the top, 100%. Alright. Shall we slam you? If the opponent hits... No, they didn't hit a land drop, so they can't play this next turn. We'll play you instead, though. It's a little less mana efficient. But if the opponent's going to kill something with a removal spell they may pull off, we don't want it to be the Torbran. Ooh, pay 2 for that. Go to 5. Targeting Bone Crusher costs 2 life as well. The Grixis deck is bleeding life, and here's Moo. Moo can target the Bone Crusher. That's a 2/3 now, and passes the turn. All right, let's try this. Can reduce our opponent to 1 or get Moo off the battlefield. I choose you, Yanling. I know that me calling Yanling, Skydancer, Moo all the time is a trigger for somebody out there. Shout out to you. What some people just never seem to understand about the internet is we try to trigger you. It's part of the appeal. Okay. And speaking of getting triggered, we have triggered the Dragon God. And just ground out the Grixis deck, which that's hard to do. That is not normal. Niv Mizzet, 5 colors versus 1. Pretty classic matchup. We'll keep. The opponent on the mulligan means the robber of the rich is never stealing nothing. Oh, they didn't mulligan. They just kept. And they've got the charity sleeves, so they're cool. My little pony, my little pony. Carry a frickin' torch, baby. Go. Slam. Smash. Tap land, tap land. Hey, we did need a land and we drew one. So yeah, let's get hasty. All haste all day. And we hit Death Sprout. That could be really good if we ever get to cast it. That could be really good. We definitely don't want our robber of the rich to die easily. There is another rogue in the deck. It's the Cowboy Goblin. Tin Street Dodger. Yeah, shock yourself. All right. What do you do? Plus. Okay. This'll get him. This is where being on the draw isn't too bad. If we were on the play, the banner would be bounced almost certainly. And a growth spiral. Taking all your toys.
Really should have seen that coming.
All right, big turn. If you play a creature, I get to Death Sprout it. If you play a Planeswalker, I don't know what I do. You can potentially cast a Growth Spiral. That's something. But this card is annoying. Artifact, instant, and sorcery spells cost 1 more to cast. Thank God we got this out. So now you see the Heartfire costs extra. It's really tilting. Now we can kill it. We can just play the Torbran and smash. We do have this Growth Spiral and this Death Sprout over here lurking. But I think we just run this out. Make our opponent have the time wipe. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. As it is right here, we get to kill the Dovin, and we still attack with this to exile a card, but we can't because we have too many cards in hand, so it doesn't work.
This is a rare occasion. I'm not often wrong.
And is it a sweeper? It is a tap land. One cool thing about the Torbran, even with a banner out, if the opponent has that, oh, Despark will do it. I was gonna say, what is the card? Solar Blaze doesn't kill it, which I've run into a few times. Let's do this again. Seems strong. We don't get to exile things with the Robber, but we get in for a lot of damage, which pretty great. And the opponent has to solve the issue again. But they're going for Niv Mizzet. Now, remember this Death Sprout. This is the moment we've been waiting for with Death Sprout. The opponent spins the wheel. Did they whiff? I've never seen that. Wow. It is not their day. I am sorry, my friend. I am sorry about this. All right, hold full control. I don't even think I need to do this. I think I win anyway, but it's kind of like making it extra bad. Extra juicy, casting the Death Sprout. And to say I did cast something off Robber of the Rich, because you know that's not an everyday occurrence. We have removal, War Boss, and Banner. It's kind of a weird hand. And against Teysa, though, is this removal really going to be any good? If it's all like Afterlife stuff? We'll see. Valmir Knight, just coming down on turn 1. Smash. Sure. Sure. There's an Afterlifer. No attack. Go. Weird kind of game. The idea would be, let's try to keep the Teysa off the board with the Lava Coil. Let's try to use War Boss to wear down their defenses. Like, they can block with these, they can block like the War Boss tokens all they want, but we just want to remove things that could block this profitably. Midnight Reaper is an example of a card that must die. So take 1, draw a card. Let's get the War Boss down. Now they are black-white, so there's probably plenty of removal. So it's important to get the War Boss going on a turn when you get the token. So at least you get something out of him before he dies. Fabled Passage. Is the opponent got the guts to run out the Teysa? There's kind of this long-standing thing based on red decks of old that 4 toughness is really big against red. But we have the Lava Coil. Our opponent's going to Signet and develop mana instead, and Prison Realm. Prison Realm's interesting. They would want to save that for the Torbran, but they're not doing that. So does that mean they have no removal for Torbran, or does that mean they have something else up their sleeve? And they scry to the top. Ugh. That would imply they definitely have something else up their sleeve, so we would need to get a lot out of this Torbran. Let's play the banner. Let's name red. Let's play you. Let's play you as well. That way we have something on the field to do some lightning bolting. And I don't think it gets a lot better. Opponent could try to race me. Don't think that's great, but I mean, it's an option. And they might just try to do that since they're keeping the oligarch around. They also might be just, they'd rather, if it's going to die, they want it to die with Teysa on the board. So fine with them trying to set that up. Here she comes. So, Teysa Karlov. If dying causes a triggered ability of a permanent to trigger, it triggers an additional time. Creature tokens have vigilance and lifelink. So if this dies, it makes 2 afterlife tokens. That's the only thing on the board right now. And there is a Spark Harvest. Jeez, oh Pete's. Well set up, well played. The opponent gets 2 tokens instead of 1 for their efforts. Mountain, so we're definitely exiling you because these having lifelink is sad. And we're playing you. Might as well jam. I don't think we're going to get a good trade with a 2/1 goblin token in this world ever. And our opponent still has this death touch that we have to get through. So might have to skewer the critics on a Foulmere Knight if we don't draw a Chandra's Pyro Helix off the top like a boss. And let's see what the opponent does. Do they have the removal for Torbran? It feels like they did before. Token coming in hot. An Enforcer. Another Death Toucher. Okay, this is pretty darn solid against those Death Touchers. But I definitely don't want to throw Torbran into it. Let's make you unblockable. Get that sweet Ginger Brute Uno damage. And will we see something like a Mortify? Opponent certainly feels like they're going for it. Despark, yep. Despark, the great enemy of Torbran. Can come back next turn. And the opponent still doesn't have a good block. They could double block if they want the champion dead. Wow. Okay. I'll kill the Orzhov Enforcer before the Teysa's on the board, so that there's no chance of getting 2 tokens here. Hold on to the Skewer. There may be another place for this card. Yeah, that's a place for it, but we'll see if the opponent decides to use their discard mode or not. Do you use discard mode? They've got something stuck in their hand. It's not a land or they would have played it so they could discard it. So it must be pretty strong. So maybe they won't discard. Sacrifice a creature. Okay. Ginger Brute down. They trade a token for the Ginger Brute. Alright, Rankle die. Yeah, they've got something strong. It might be Liliana. Liliana comes to mind as what could be in their hand. It's a tap land. Jesus. All right, flooding out a bit, fighting. We're fighting. We are fighters here. That is what we do. Our opponent with 6 mana now. Chase is an option. Whatever this card in their hand is, it's probably not much more expensive than a 6-drop. Now they're gonna play the commander. Hearts on fire. Not the time though. I think we just have to hold this, because what I may have to do is blow this up in response to some activation of something. Just sacrifice the district to kill the Teysa. Feels bad. These death touchers are embarrassing. Being unable to kill some stupid little death touchers. Sure. I can afford 1 damage, 1 lifelink here. I really want to see what my opponent's next play is. Nothing. That's weird. That's really weird. Well, let's get out a regulator. I will pass the turn. What is going on? Our opponent is the tiniest bit ahead, and maybe they're just fine with that? Jesus. Dear God. Do I have to do this now? I'm going to try to draw something better to sacrifice. That's okay. Every turn that goes by just gets worse. 1, 2, 3. Activate you. I want to kill this. And I want to use the mana from the district. No, I don't. Because then it doesn't work with Slaying Fire. So we take you out. Pay that adamant. Send in the district. See if the opponent wants to trade the Foulmere Knight for it. No, of course not. And say go. Now I still have a Heartfire open if the opponent tries to kill my Torbran. How's the creature count in my graveyard? Plenty. 3 little 2/2s that can be made from the Absolution. Yeah, to say we're behind is an understatement. 4 cards and an Absolution on the battlefield, and a Revival for the Oligarch. And now you're making 2/2s. Ugh, feels so terrible. Don't think I have a chance. Down to 7. This is just dead. Remember, it dies immediately upon entering the battlefield for the Absolution. We can't sacrifice it to Heartfire. Same with you. Ugh. Yeah, game over, man. Game over. All right. Pretty good game, though. Back and forth. Definitely couldn't find good spots from my removal spells, or enough of them. So let's go. Lock here. Stays alive technically, but not if I Heartfire myself. Darn you. Excuse me. I will be slaughtering my own face. And that'll be the game. I hope you enjoyed some games with Torbran, the Great Redbeard, the mighty Flame General, Flame, Fire, Embers, Torch, Roast thing. Yeah, in Wednesday Brawl, I think if you're going to do a little bit of burninating on the Brawl side, this is a fun way to do it. I think it's a very strong deck. I think it puts a clock on the rest of the meta. Something I could have done better was mulligan aggressively based on what my opponent's commander was. So if their commander has 4 toughness, you should try to mulligan and find your Lava Coil or your Heartfire. But other than that, I think it was all right, and I had a really good time. So thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.